recently I decided kombucha syrup would be a fun tool to play with in my kitchen. So I decided to try my hand at making kombucha, and I happened to have a lot of apples at the time. So let's take a look. I'm slicing up my apples small enough to fit in the juicer. Don't have to core those or peel them or anything. Just throw them all in there. And then just start feeding the juicer. Just takes a little while, especially with a big batch. You probably have to clean it once or twice, depending on your juicer. Here we are now, just a little bit later. I'm going to reserve the scraps here and throw those in a vinegar I've started, along with some the peels and cores from some apple I was drying. So we'll just take all this pulp and seeds and skin out and use that. It's really nice there's no waste this way, plus I get a really nice apple cider vinegar. Okay, so there's all my apple juice and my SCOBY and a reserved about a cup of liquid from a previous batch I made. So I'm just going to place the SCOBY and the reserved liquid in there. Help backslop the SCOBY I'm making now. That'll help lower the pH balance so that we don't get any of the bad stuff growing in there. And then you just want to cover that with something that will allow it to breathe, like some cheesecloth or an old t-shirt rag, some cotton rag, and a rubber band. This is the kombucha starter kit I had from Oregon Kombucha. And there it is after it's sat a day. And that's the vinegar on the left I was talking about. And this kombucha's gone about 7 days. I'm just gonna pull out my SCOBY. You always want to use gloved hands to lower contamination. And I'm going to reserve a cup of liquid again, a cup of the kombucha, for the SCOBY to survive in until I use it again. Okay, now I'm going to set up my strainer over my saucepan. I'm just going to strain it through the cotton cloth I used. I've got this over a really low heat too. Later on I move it to the small burner in the back. You don't want to do this over a high heat and bring it to a boil, because you'll lose all the nuanced flavor. There. There it is, reduced a bit. I actually take this down until there's about a third left. of what I started with. And there you are. Kombucha syrup to use on pancakes or ice cream. Whatever you'd like. Alright, this is the vinegar I was talking about. I've already got some of the peels and cores in from the apples I was drying. Water and then some sugar dissolved in there. And then I'm just adding the pulp from juicing the apples. Then I use a plastic lid in here to cover the pieces. And I've got a plastic bag filled with water. And that'll just help keep everything submerged in the liquid. And then here again we'll just cover it with either cheesecloth or a cotton rag. Secure it with a rubber band. Then I'll let this sit for about 7 days, and then I'll strain that. Then I'll restrain this liquid too to make sure I get all the pulp out. And then I'll let that age for about 6 to 8 weeks until it's at the flavor that I want. And there we are, restraining it. Stuff's already pretty tasty, but in about 6 to 8 weeks it's going to be great. So there's the apple kombucha. As you can see, it was really easy to make. I'm pretty pleased with it. I've also since that time made a strawberry kombucha. I just made a simple syrup and steeped the strawberry tops that were trimmed off, and used that to make a strawberry kombucha. You'll also see that I used the peels and cores from drying some apples, and from making the apple kombucha, I used that to make an apple cider vinegar, so there was no waste, and I also got a really good vinegar out of it too. So I hope you give this a try if you've always wanted to try making kombucha. It's really easy. I'm enjoying it quite a bit. So until next time, thanks for watching.